Hello there guys, welcome to another of my videos. So, Donny van der Beek needs to start for Manchester United. Now, Donny van der Beek scored a fantastic volley in Holland's 1-1 draw with Spain recently. Now, Donny van der Beek confirms what he has been told by Ole Gunnar Solsjaer over his role at Manchester United. And Solskjaer's instructed him to remain patient until he gets more opportunities at Manchester United. Now, Donny van der Beek has said he would have loved to play more at Manchester United. But yet, Donny van der Beek has not yet made his full Premier League debut for the football club. He has started our last two games in the Champions League. But in the games Donny van der Beek has been involved in, he has really impressed me. Don't forget he scored on his Premier League debut in the opening day defeat to Crystal Palace. Now obviously we paid around £40 million for Donny van der Beek. He signed a 5-year contract with the football club with an option of a further year. And he currently wears that number 34 shirt. Now prior to the RB Leipzig game, Solskjaer was talking about Donny van der Beek, saying that he will play a big part this year and he will be an important player. And he responded to the criticism over the use of Donny van der Beek because Patrice Evra and Gary Neville, I think it was, who were criticising. But I think Solskjaer's been in the process of trying to figure out his best position because he can play in like 3 different roles. Donny van der Beek, though, is predominantly a number 10. Predominantly a box-to-box midfielder. Well, he was a box-to-box midfielder when he was at Ajax, wasn't he? So that's the breaking news on him. Now, I want to delve into some news on Paul Pogba. So, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has made his decision on Paul Pogba. He's ready to sell Paul Pogba. Now, Paul Pogba played for France yesterday when they got beat by 2-0 against Finland. Now, Paul Pogba has received a lot of criticism recently. You know, Jamie Carragher's been criticising him. The other week, Dion Dublin criticised him. I think also too Roy Keane criticised him. But on the other side of things, you had Phil Neville coming out saying that it's a disgrace that Paul Pogba is not getting in the team. Paul Pogba's only started 2 of our last 7 games. And Didier Deschamps, who is the France manager, he says that Paul Pogba cannot be happy at Manchester United for being left on the bench and for playing out of position. And he said that he wants to hold talks with Paul Pogba over this situation at Old Trafford. I think Solskjaer's now come to accept the fact that Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba cannot play in the same team. That has been a debate now for at least the last couple of weeks, hasn't it? Now, it's said that we'd lowered our asking price for Paul Pogba, and it says we will accept around £53 million. Where's Paul Pogba going to go, though? You know, is he going to go to Real Madrid? Near the start of the season, Paul Pogba made an admission saying that one day his dream is to join Real Madrid, and last year he was talking a lot about Real Madrid and Zinedine Zidane, and he said he wanted to leave Man United because he was seeking for a new challenge. Now, last year we demanded around 180 million for Pogba. That's just over double than what we paid for him. You know, Real Madrid are obviously trying to get Eduardo Camavinga, but he's also on Manchester United's agenda. Some United fans think that Paul Pogba will go back to Juventus because there's obviously been rumours of him going back to Juventus. He did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus, but the vast majority of his performances at Man United have been totally comparison to his ones at Juventus, haven't they? PSG and Barcelona have been interested in him before. Pogba's our most expensive signing because we paid £89 million for him. He's been inconsistent this season when he's played. Analysing the vast majority of his career at Man United, he's been inconsistent. I think he's had a good couple of periods, that's it. He was good towards the end of last season, and he was good in that 3-month period when Solsjaer was temporary boss. Pogba as well has sustained a few injuries at Man United. For the vast majority of last season, didn't play because he was out with that ankle injury. But this is his 5th season at the football club since he rejoined. He has made over 100 appearances for us in all competitions. He's won 3 trophies at the club, and that was the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield. Pogba's not happy that we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract. It was early on this season we did that. He's under contract with the football club until June 2022. Fabrizio Romano also confirmed that. But there has been no talks over getting him a long-term contract at the football club, but it was totally contrast to what it said in the summer, because during the summer, Pogba's agent Mini Raiola came out and said that his client wants to stay and he will hold talks over a new long-term contract. As it's on his current contract at the moment, Pogba's on 290 grand a week, so he's one of the highest paid players at the club. Yeah, you can probably say that we made a mistake getting rid of Pogba when he was younger, because we did have him under the Alex Ferguson era, but we had to let him go due to limited appearances, didn't we? But I think Pogba does want to leave, but he's also said that he loves Manchester United as well. So that is the breaking news on that. Now, I want to delve into some more news in regards to Cristiano Ronaldo. So, according to reports in Portugal, Manchester United have made a formal offer to Jorge Mendes, who's Cristiano Ronaldo's agent. Now, Fox Sports journalist Christian Martin, he recently said that Man United are in talks over the possibility of bringing Cristiano Ronaldo back to the football club. Also mentions that PSG are interested in him. I heard that there could be a swap deal on the agenda between Cristiano Ronaldo going to PSG and Neymar going to Juventus. Now, Cristiano Ronaldo is currently at Juventus. He's been there a couple of years now. Juventus paid £100 million for him back in 2018 from Real Madrid. His wages are substantial. At Juventus, he's on £540,000 a week. That equates to around £28 million a year. Next summer, Cristiano Ronaldo will only have 1 year left on his contract, won't he? Now, Ronaldo is a former Manchester United player. He endured 6 years at the club. He was at Manchester United from 2003 to 2009. During his time, he won 3 Premier League titles. He won the Champions League. He won the FA Cup. And he also won the FIFA Club World Cup. And he scored 118 goals in 292 appearances in all competitions, didn't he? At the time we got him, we only paid £12 million for him from Sporting Lisbon. Sporting Lisbon was where he began his footballing career. In 2009, we sold Ronaldo to Real Madrid for £80 million, so we did make like a £68 million profit. And he enjoyed a good 9-10 years with Real Madrid and scored over 400 goals for them in all competitions. He has won 5 Ballon d'Ors, Ronaldo. He's won 4 European Golden Shoes. In total, he's won 30 major honours in his playing career. Ronaldo is the age of 35. But despite that, I'd still take him at Manchester United. By the way, Portugal recently beat Andorra by 7-0. So do you think there's any trustworthy in this news regarding Cristiano Ronaldo? But there you go. Now, who will Manchester United sign in the January transfer window? Now, we're already making plans for next year. There's obviously quite a few players on our agenda. Could we go back in for Jadon Sancho next year? Don't forget, Jadon Sancho was our #1 priority target in the summer transfer window. The main explanation we didn't get him is because we wasn't willing to meet Borussia Dortmund's asking price. Borussia Dortmund wanted a substantial £108 million. It was saying though that the personal terms and the agent fees and all that, had been agreed with Sancho, but just couldn't come to an agreement on a fee. And, Michael Zorg and Lucien Favre and all that were saying that, Sancho was going to stay at Dortmund, and obviously he has done. But Sancho's been poor this season for Borussia Dortmund so far, hasn't he? But I thought in the summer transfer window we was definitely going to sign him. Ousmane Dembele, we could go in for him in January. I think he's one of the alternatives to Jadon Sancho. Last time he updated you about Ousmane Dembele, it says that he could be available for £45 million. I think we want to get him on loan with the obligation to buy, but Barcelona would prefer a straight purchase without a loan included, obviously. Ousmane Dembele is a good player. He's endured over 3 years or so now at Barcelona. Barcelona got him in a deal worth around £135 million from Dortmund back in 2017. At the time Barcelona got him, he was the second joint most expensive player. Barca paid around £96 or £97 million up front. Obviously, the rest of it in add-ons. He's got a contract with Barcelona till 2022. My element of concern about him, though, he is injury-prone. Sustained a few injuries as a Barcelona player. Liverpool inquired about getting him in, but I think he obviously turned down a move to Liverpool. Haaland, he's another player we could possibly sign in January, because he's still on our agenda. Obviously, Real Madrid obviously want Erling Haaland though as well. He's done very, very well since his arrival at Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund got him back in January. I think they paid, was it around 17 million or something like that. He's obviously got a contract with Dortmund till 2024. Solsjaer knows Erling Haaland well because Solsjaer managed Erling Haaland, when he was at Molde, and Solskjaer was the one that gave him his debut, I think, at the age of 16. I think he's got a release clause, Erling Haaland, that can be active. Is it next summer or the summer after that? And I think it's around £60 million, his release clause. Now, Kalidou Koulibaly, he's also been another player on our agenda. Do you think we could sign him? Dayot Upamecano from RB Leipzig, do you think we could go in for him? We may go in for him next summer. We may not go in for him in January. Dayot Upamecano is available for £38 million next year, because that's when his release clause does become active. But I think Man United need around 4 or 5 signings to win the Premier League title. I think we probably need at least 2, maybe 3, to challenge for the title. That's what I do believe. We've obviously got to focus on the outgoings as well as the incomings next year. There's obviously still deadwood at the football club that Manchester United need to get rid of. Now, I think next year we'll be looking to get rid of Jesse Lingard. I think we'll be also looking to get rid of Marcus Rojo. Phil Jones, he's another one. Like I said, Paul Pogba, we're expecting him to leave next year. Lee Grant, I think we'll offload him. Nemanja Matic, he could also be sold next year because Matic has lost his place in the team. Juan Mata, do you think he could be sold next year? I'm expecting Modena Gallo to leave when his loan expires with the club. I think we could loan a few players out next year, maybe. We could loan Brandon Williams out to obviously gain him more experience. And Brandon Williams is now our third choice left back following the arrival of Alex Telles. But it'd be good for him to get more experience, Brandon Williams. I thought Williams was very, very good last season. Played a lot of games, but that's obviously because Luke Shaw had a few injuries in that. Daniel James, do you think he could be loaned out, or could we get rid of Daniel James permanently? We will have to see. Sergio Romero, I think if we don't loan Dean Henderson out, then Romero will leave. But if Dean Henderson is to be loaned out, then I think Romero will stay as a backup. So, there you go. Now, I want Ole Gunnar Solsjaer to succeed as Manchester United manager, like I've said time and time again. But I just don't think he's good enough, and he hasn't got that proven pedigree as a manager. Manchester United is the third club in his managerial career. Before he was with us, he was at Mould. He won a few Norwegian titles at Mould, and before he was at Mould, he was at Cardiff. And he enjoyed a very, very short tenure at Cardiff. The main explanation why he got sacked from Cardiff is because he ended up getting Cardiff relegated. But Ollie's gained managerial experience, reflecting now on he's been at the club, because he's been at Manchester United now for almost 2 years. We appointed him in December 2018, and he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. Ollie's got a contract with the football club until 2022. And he's managed over 100 games as Manchester United manager in all competitions, and he's won around 57. Now, obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is still under pressure at Manchester United despite that 3-1 win against Everton recently. We've played 7 games in the Premier League this season. We've won 3, we've lost 3, and we've drawn 1. And reflect on that, we're sitting 14th in the Premier League. And so far this season, there's been plenty ups and downs, hasn't there, for Manchester United? We had good wins in the Champions League against PSG and RB Leipzig. Also had a good win against Everton recently. But, we suffered a bad defeat against Crystal Palace on the opening day, lost to them by 3-1. That was the second season in a row that Crystal Palace had beaten us at Old Trafford in the league. We also suffered a 6-1 hammering against Tottenham. We also lost to Arsenal the other week. That was Arsenal's first win at Old Trafford in the Premier League since 2006. We lost to Istanbul Başakşehir in the Champions League group stage, and that was also an embarrassment. We have not yet won at Old Trafford in the Premier League this season, and it's our worst start at Old Trafford for around 50 years. Now, obviously, we have got West Brom after the international break, and that's a game Manchester United should be winning because West Brom are poor. They haven't won a game yet in the Premier League this season, and they are sitting 18th. I think West Brom are going to go back down. West Brom finished second in the Championship last season. That's what obviously got them up to the Premier League. You know, last time we played West Brom at Old Trafford, we lost to them by 1-0, and that was a couple of years ago. They also beat us under the David Moyes era at Old Trafford by 2-1. West Brom's current manager is Slaven Bilic. I know a few of their players, like I've already been through with you. They've got that Callum Robinson. They've got Charlie Austin. You know, they've got Matisse Pereira. He's been out of injury. They've got Carlon Grant. They've got Grady Diangana. They've got Conor Gallagher. They've got Dario O'Shea. He was injured not so long ago. They've got Samfield. He's out of injury at the moment. They've got Carnu. He's out with injury. They've also got that Branislav Ivanovic. He's also out with injury. So yeah, after West Brom, we play Istanbul Başakşehir in the Champions League group stage. Then after that, I think it's Southampton. Southampton will be a tough game because they've had a good start to the season. Now, if we can go on a good winning run after the international break, then I think more and more pressure will ease off Solsjaer. If we are to lose probably our next 2 games, then I think that will be enough to sack Ole Gunnar Solsjaer. If we'd have failed to beat Everton, then I think he would have been sacked as Manchester United manager. Now, I think our board have really softened their stance on Ole. Because I think if we'd have had any other manager, I think they'd have been sacked by now, reflecting how poor we've been. But, you know, not all the blame stems from Ole, does it? You know, there's still players that have been underperforming at Man United. Well, obviously we've been very critical of the board for several years because they're one of the problems at the football club, are the board. Because our board have not backed any of our managers that we've had since Ferguson retired. So they didn't back Moyes enough, they didn't back Van Gaal enough, they didn't back Mourinho enough, and obviously they haven't backed Ole Gunnar Solskjaer enough, have they? Because during the summer transfer window, we missed out on all of his priority targets, and Ole revealed a few times during the summer transfer window that he was very infuriated with the board, you know. But in the last 7 years or so, nothing has changed at Manchester United, has it? You know, we've just been so inconsistent. Obviously, we've sacked 3 managers since the Ferguson era, and that was David Moyes. He got sacked after, 8.5, 9 months. He has enjoyed the shortest tenure at the club. We finished 7th under the David Moyes era. We sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, despite him winning the FA Cup. And we sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years, despite him winning the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield in his first season. So Ole is our 4th permanent manager since the Ferguson era. So we haven't only had different managers with different philosophies. You know, we spent close to the £1 billion range on players, and we've recruited over 30 odd players since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. We've made a lot of mistakes as well in the last 7 years, and that's one of the main explanations why we've been so inconsistent. You know, we did make a mistake by giving Solskjaer the job permanently, but the main explanation we're giving the job permanently was reflecting on what he did in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. But I think he is in a position that he shouldn't be in, is he? But no matter who our manager is, you know, no one will last as long as Ferguson did, and no one will replicate Sir Alex Ferguson's legacy, and that's something that Man United have obviously got to accept. There's obviously still a lot of rumours going on about Mauricio Pochettino. I heard that Mauricio Pochettino is watching Man United, Chelsea and Manchester City. Mauricio Pochettino has obviously been the favourite to replace Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the football club. But he said we suffered a setback recently because Marca said that Mauricio Pochettino is Atletico Bilbao's top target, because Atletico Bilbao are close to sacking their manager. But yeah, there's been a few clubs that have been in for Pochettino. Pochettino made it clear the other week on Monday Night Football that he's ready for a return to management because he's missing football. Rio Ferdinando said that Man United have had no conversations with Pochettino over replacing Ole. And he said he's frustrated with the disrespect that's been shown to Ole in that. But like I've said, Pochettino's a better manager than Solsjaer. He is a better manager than him, because he's well Premier League proven in that, and he's dealt with top players, and his philosophy is good. But my element of concern about Pochettino is not won anything in terms of silverware. He was the favourite to take over at Old Trafford after Jose Mourinho had got sacked, don't forget. But yeah, it wouldn't really solve a lot, by just sacking Solskjaer, because, it's not only the manager's fault, like I said earlier on. There's a few people saying, we still need to stick by him. Andy Cole insists we should stick with him. I presume Rio Ferdinand believes we should stick with him in all of that. But yeah. But Ole is into his second full season as Manchester United manager, isn't he? And I said he's got to exceed his expectations this season if he is to remain at the football club. Ole's enjoyed 4 transfer winners at the club so far, and he's spent over £200 million. We've also seen a lot of players leave the football club since he got recommended in, and I also like the way he has promoted the youth. And he's showed a lot of tactical flexibility in a lot of the big games. So these positives to take from his tenure. We have not won the Premier League since 2013, so we haven't won it now for around 8 years, have we? I don't see us winning a title under Ole, to be honest with you. I hope I'm wrong, because I'd love us to win a title under Ole. I'm hoping we can win a trophy this season. I really, really am. I know we won't win the Premier League. I can't see us winning the Champions League, so I think we could either win the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup, or maybe both of them. But Solskjaer's not won out yet as Manchester United manager, has he? So there you go. We have got a few injuries like I've updated you on. Luke Shaw's got a hamstring injury. He's out for up to a month, so that's bad news because Luke Shaw's been in good form recently. Eric Bailly's got a muscle injury. He's out for a few weeks. That's my element of concern about Eric Bailly, too injury prone. Rashford had a problem with his shoulder, but he should be okay for West Brom. Phil Jones is still injured. He recently had an operation. Lingard's still injured, but I think he's close to returning. Doesn't get in the team now regularly anyway. There you go. But these players at Man United this season that have really, really impressed me, like I've already mentioned. Rashford's impressed me. Bruno Fernandes has impressed me. Van der Beek's impressed me in the games he's played in them. I know he's hardly played, and Fred's impressed me. Shaw's impressed me recently. Harry Maguire's recently impressed me. De Gea's impressed me. He's really rejuvenated himself, and I said De Gea will remain our number 1 this season. And Wan-Bissaka, he's also impressed me. So there you go. Edison Cavani's impressed me recently as well. Don't forget, scored his first goal for Manchester United in the 3-1 win against Everton. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.